There's a YouTube channel getting attention. I'm seeing it pop up on Twitter called Home Math. And there's this video where a woman says, where are all the men with money? I find it interesting. I somewhat agree with the Home Math YouTube channel. I don't know that it's absolutely correct, but there's a lot that I want to address in it, and I think it's interesting nonetheless. So shout out to that channel, Home Math on YouTube, I think it's called. Let's, I believe it is credited right there. Let me play this video for you.
Where are the men with the money that you speak of?
You got rid of them, remember? You said it wasn't fair that men made more money, and so you insisted on an equal pay, and you asked for jobs and school and money to be distributed towards you. And so the men who had money now make not as much as you. You know, just like you wanted. That's what you wanted, right? You might notice I use the same drawings every time because it's the same thing every time, that men used to make more, and then you wanted equality, but men still have to pay, so now they have less money than you. And it's not because you're doing better, it's because you ask to be given for free. Here, let me show you.
We don't need empowering quotes. We need promotions.
There, you see that? It says the future is female promotions. Now, maybe you could check my math on this, but if the future is female promotions, then that would mean not male promotions. And promotions are where you get money, so then the future would be female money.
No, cringe, sorry. Look, I certainly can respect there are a lot of instances where women demanded more, not all women, but there are feminists who are absolutely demanding more money. But money, promotions are not where you get money. Dude, that one really grinds my gears. Money comes from a value exchange. There are people who don't have jobs. They make money completely on their own. I've met people who sit on the side of streets and they collect money. That's not a promotion. I knew a guy who put a Folgers can in front of him, went to sleep in Chicago, and woke up with $250 every few hours. I'm not kidding. People would just chuck their loose change in the bucket. And to the average person, 35 cents means nothing. But with thousands of people walking past him and just throwing money in his bucket, the dude, unfortunately, was a heroin addict, but he'd wake up with hundreds of dollars. Money doesn't just come from promotions. It doesn't just come from jobs. And I will add this right as we're getting started, because I'll play more. First, obviously not all women. This woman who's asking about where the men with money at may not be one of these feminists. So when he says you, I see a little bit of animosity in there. Feminists, yes. Liberal women, yes. I don't know who this woman is who's saying it, so I'm not going to point it at her. But I will tell you right now, I don't take this approach viewing like, oh no, women are getting paid more, it's a problem. The question is, what are you doing to win the game? And I mean that in terms of there is a system in place by which there are rules and you can accumulate money. What are you doing? Honest question. If you think the idea is that you go work for someone else and get paid and that's how you make money, you're wrong. You're wrong. You have to solve that problem. I'll tell you what I actually see with this. I see women making demands, men capitulating. That's a fact because it was men who were in control of most of these systems. And then the issue then becomes for the men who are left in this new system, you have to work really, really hard to succeed in it. There's no excuse to be like, women are getting more pay now, so I'm not able to figure it out. This is exactly why women want to know where all the men with money are at. The other thing I'll point out, this woman who's asking where the men with money are at, it could just be they're not interested in you. Let me play more of the video.
Not like this, more like this, or even farther. So then the men with money would become the men without money because you have it.
So, we'll play some more.
At not one point in my life have I ever met a man that made as much money as I did or more.
You sound upset. We are also upset.
As a matter of fact, in my 40s, they have turned into the most pathetic group at a level of high school, early 20 struggle love.
Yes, that's exactly what happened to me. In school, girls got bonuses and I did not. And when I looked for work, girls got bonuses and I did not. And then in the dating world, girls got bonuses and I did not. So I ended up with not very much. I'm about to be 40 and this was going to be me if it wasn't for YouTube. And it's not because I didn't do these things. It's because when I did them, they told me, sorry, get at the end of the line. And then I stayed at the end of the line forever. And
man, this one's so brutal. Dude seems angry. He is right to be angry. He is completely correct about all of this. Let me go back here. This one's a really good point where you see he's like, this is what happened to me in school. He says, I get punished. That's right. Boys are told to sit down, shut up, and girls get benefits. That's a fact. They have a bunch of programs like women this, women that. Yep. Then you have work, DEI, cancel culture, economy, inflation. Yep. And then in dating, women maintain the traditional approach. But I got bad news for you, dude. All of this is true. Life is not easy for dudes. It is much, much easier for women, up to a certain age. The question is, what have you done about it? I'm not saying it's fair. It's not fair. But, you know, if you wake up one day in a ditch, surrounded by like hungry wolves and vultures, you know, life's not fair. Are you going to lie down and say, well, this isn't fair at all. Guess I'll die. Or are you going to climb your way out of that ditch? You know what I see with this is natural selection. I really do. And not artificial, natural selection. That is, the system will continually find ways to put pressure on men to prove themselves. And if they can't, they will fail. That's how it has always been. Do you feel bad for the weak male runt of the litter in the wilderness, the cheetah, the hyena, the lion, the whatever? Yeah, we do. But that's just it. The question is, for all of my friends out there, one day you come across a spider web and there is a beautiful butterfly trapped, not completely entangled, just one leg and it can't get out. And the spider is creeping up. Do you rescue that butterfly and save it from that spider? Well, doesn't the spider deserve a meal too? Didn't the spider do the work to catch the butterfly? There are many people who would say, free the butterfly. The butterfly is beautiful. There's no really right or wrong answer. It's just a philosophical question that you get asked when you're a little kid. It's one of the earliest philosophical questions I believe people probably do get asked. The reality is this. Women are, of course, always going to be demanding things. This goes back to ancient times. There's a viral post from a woman. It's actually right here. Morgan Ariel says, if you can't buy me a house, I'm not interested. This is the bare minimum if you want to take on a wife and children. I would accept those terms if you had if there was no fault divorce was not an issue. But the idea of you want men to buy you things and then you can literally just be like, okay, and now it's mine forever. That makes no sense. The exchange of value is the man does the work. The woman provides comfort, family, and taking care of the home and the children. And the man hunts, brings in revenue. There's other ways you could structure your family. That's totally fine. Either way, the mom has to have the kids. So if a man wants to have a family with kids, it has to be the woman who does that because the man can't make babies. Let's play more of this video. Let's play more.
girls got bonuses and I did not. So I ended up with not very much. I'm about to be 40 and this was going to be me if it wasn't for YouTube. And it's not because I didn't do these things. It's because when I did them, they told me, sorry, get at the end of the line. And then I stayed at the end of the line forever. And
I got to be honest with you guys. I never wait in line. I don't want to tell you, insult me, call me arrogant, call me whatever. I do not wait in line. Doesn't happen. Very rare circumstances where I will wait in line. Ever. That's just me. You guys live how you want to live. You do what you want to do. I don't wait in line. I don't. Either I'm going to not go at all or I'm walking in. That's always how I've viewed it. What is this? 7 years ago, Luke Rutkowski and I were at, was it VidCon? I think. Where were we? I think it was VidCon. It's the big YouTube conference or whatever. And they had a private party. Private party on a certain floor of the building where only the elites of YouTube were allowed to be. You had to be super cool, otherwise you can't come in. Well, despite the fact that I knew tons of people at Google, had done consulting for them for free, they wouldn't let me in. Fair to say, what really happened was they just didn't give us passes. Okay, well, my attitude is this. If you're meant to be there, you will be. If you're meant to be there, you will be. And long story short, instead of, I don't know, either you're waiting in line or you're not, I walked up to the front with some friends who were invited, and we all just walked in. That was it. And then we hung out at the party, and that was it. Nobody cared. If you're meant to be there, you will be. There was I'll just keep it simple. When they told you to get to the back of the line, you stood there. Well, here's the reality of things. If I'll put it this way: if we are about to go on a roller coaster, and I'm at Hershey Park, I got no problem in waiting in line for the roller coaster. If someone comes to me and says, because you are a white man, we want you to move to the back of the line, you can't go on this roller coaster, one of two things will happen. I will say no, or I will leave. And I say, look, I'm not going to wait in back. That's how I operate. Went to a diner. It was so funny. I tweeted about this and the left lost their minds. I was waiting at a diner near here with my girlfriend for breakfast. And they said, have a seat. We'll get you in a few minutes. A couple people walked in and they said, right this way, gave them a table. A couple people walked in, they said, right this way, give them a table. I said, excuse me, we've been sitting here for 15 minutes. For what reason are you seating other people? And they went, oh, sorry. I said, you don't want my money? Fine. You don't have to have it. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. Sorry, I wasted your time. And I left. The left lost their mind over the story. My attitude is this. When I go out to eat, I tip 100 to 200%. Always. Everybody knows that all the restaurants know that we tip big. Tip big. You got to do it. You got to take care of the people who are taking care of you, right? And I can, so I will. But if someone wants to be disrespectful, then you get disrespect. Let me play the rest of the video.
So did all of us, which makes you confused for some reason because you got what you wanted.
And they think that established women with financial stability are going to date them.
See, there's where you're wrong. I'm going to let you guess what this represents. It's not our income. And that's what happens when you say that this isn't fair, and then you use this to make this happen, and then you say that you're too good for everyone. Too bad for you.
Where are the men with money?
You them.
See, what I don't appreciate about this video is the blaming all women for what men did. Women made demands and men capitulated. And then men complained later when the system got hard. This lady wants a guy with money and she can't get one. I don't think you need an overly complicated reason to explain why this woman cannot find a man who makes money. I'm going to lay it down for you. Leonardo DiCaprio seems to have no problem at all at getting 24-year-old women. And then, we'll see you later when they're 25. Although I think he's recently broken that trend, but the man certainly loves his 22-year-old women. Now, why does this lady who says she's like 40, she's like, I have never found a man with money. Lady, and my guy, okay? The issue is not that women demanded money and power and booted men to the back of the line and men just had to accept it. The issue is not that you, good Sir Homath, were stuck at the back of the line. The issue is this woman does not bring anything to the table. I love that. And that's actually, I think, one of Homath's other video, what are women to bring to the table? They think that they are the table. You are not. There is a table for which people bring things. What does your significant other bring to the table, and what do you bring? And there's a mutual exchange. And humans are a bit more than just market economics. Emotion plays a big role. Some women will bring literally everything they have and more for a man who brings nothing. I see guys complain about this all the time. They're like, he's some scuzzy guy with no job. He just plays folk songs all day, and his girlfriend works and pays all the bills, but she loves him. I don't know. What does he bring to the table? That's just the way it is. Sometimes. I can give you a really simple explanation for this lady saying, where are them with money at? Not interested in you. I mean, I can make a bunch of reasons. Based on this video, you sound weird, you talk weird, you got a weird chin and a big forehead, right? I'm not trying to insult this lady. I'm just saying, you're going to make a video where you're like, why won't men with money? Where are they at? Dating supermodels. Like Donald Trump. They get rich and they have their pick of the litter. And then, of course, there are other guys who have a chip on their shoulder who are angry, and they're like, well, I'm not good enough for you. You're not. Dude, you're not good enough for her. That's the reality. I didn't say life was fair, life was easy. And you might say, that's stupid. No, I don't care. I don't care what you think. Life's not fair. Never going to be fair. Guys start life in the gutter. Girls start life on top. That is the nature of gender and sexual dynamics in the United States. Because of the way humans evolved, evolutionary biology and psychology, there is a protection drive for women, and men are expendable. One man and 100 women can rebuild society. One man with 100 women, but one woman with 100 men, and your society is going to collapse. You will likely not survive. How many kids can you really produce? Not enough. Not enough to survive. Thus, women are substantially more important than men. A small handful of men can lead and protect a society, but women make people. And that means women will always want the best. They will always demand more, no matter what. And that means, over time, men will give to women, and women will still demand more. Welcome to the nature of evolutionary psychology. And then there are going to be men always who are at the bottom or the back end of the bell curve, who complain and say, the system should have been set up so that women can't make more money, so that I would be more desirable. Fine. I mean, you can build any system you want. I don't care. I'm just saying, if right now that's not the case, welcome to natural selection. Only the strongest will survive. And if you can't figure out how to make money, hey, I'll tell you, 7-8 years ago, how many followers did Andrew Tate have? 30,000? Crazy, right? Now he's like a billionaire or something. You can figure it out or you can't. And if you're upset you don't have money, you didn't figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. There are different ways to solve problems. There are different ways to become wealthy. There are people that day trade. There's a guy who bought GameStop at $2 and now he's going to be a billionaire or something. I don't respect the argument that they told me to get to the back of the line, so I did. That's it. You know, I'll clarify a few things. Honor and integrity matter. And I think initiative matters. I don't like the idea that it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, because then you end up doing things that are unforgivable and then wondering why they were never permitted in the first place. That being said, some instances require initiative, and that's a reality. I'll give you a quick story to wrap this one up. Many of you may have heard, but I'll give you two quick ones. So a buddy of mine is applying for a job. I work at Vice. And I said, here's a guy I want to hire. He's pretty good at what he does when it comes to all this tech stuff. And they said, okay, have him email us. He did. He messages me and says, I'm not going to take the job. And I said, why not? And he was like, they're not offering me enough money. No, what are they offering you? And he was like, 65. And I was like, okay, would you do it for 85? And he goes, no. I said, 95? And he goes, no. And I said, would you do it for 120? And he goes, well, yeah, I'd do it for 120. And I said, so email him back and say you want 120. And he was like, why? They're going to say no. And I was like, okay, then you don't get a job you didn't want in the first place. And so what does he do? He mails him back and says, I appreciate the offer. At this time, I'd be interested in taking the position at a minimum salary of $120,000 a year. And they said, well, unfortunately, it's not in our budget, but we appreciate it. Have a nice day. End of story. Dude comes up to me and he goes, your buddy wanted 6 figures. And I was like, yes, that's right, he did. And he was like, yeah, we're not paying that. And I was like, he's like the only person in the world who knows how to do these things. And he didn't want to work here. So you've got to pay what he's worth. Welcome to business, my friends. That's the issue. Someone says, get in the back of the line. Why is it that women got paid less? Because they'd say, I'll give you 65 for it. And they go, okay, I guess. And guys go, nah, I want 200. And they'll be like, 200. I went to a meeting with NBC a long time ago. This is 10 years ago. No, this is longer than 10 years ago. This is 13 years ago. And they were like, can we hire you to do what you do and teach our people? And I said, yeah, 500,000. And they went, well, we can't do that. And I was like, then you don't get it. Bye. Have a nice day. And then I go to Vice, I go to Fusion, and they all will tell you to get in the back of the line. And I just say, nah, I'm not interested. I'm gonna figure it out on my own with or without you. You're gonna get me what I want. If you want it, you'll pay for it. Tell me a serious number. That's just the reality, man. I got bad news for you guys. There's a viral photo of this dude who's got like a weird face, and he's super ripped. And then he's got a picture of him with this really cute girl. And he's like, guys, just start lifting. It works. There are these dudes that are average guys that don't improve themselves, don't solve problems, don't know how to figure things out, and they get mad at the system. Scream at the world all you want. I don't care. The world's not fair, never will be. So to make this video and to say like, well, women got all these things and I didn't. Yeah, I literally don't care. I view this stuff of women making demands. It's like, welcome to the brave new world, my friends. Natural selection is and always has been the case. If you're a man, you're fighting bears and you're dying in wars. Why? Because women are going to be safe at home, protected, and doing whatever they want to do. That's nature. That's life. And now there's a lot of things to be mad about. No fault divorce, a family court siding with men all the time. It will never be fair for men. It will never be easy for men. That's it. Make all the videos you want. Complain on the internet all you want. That's fine. I agree with most of the complaints. But at the same time, have you begun lifting? And it's funny because I say lifting and people are like, Tim, you don't even lift, bro. I'm like, well, I started doing a little bit. My point is exercise, improve yourself, read, solve puzzles. Every day when I skate, I must do something new to improve my skills in a quantifiable way. This is how I live my life. Every day I say, what am I doing that makes me one day better than I was yesterday? What are you doing? Make all the videos you want, complain all you want, point out these problems. They're legitimate problems. I agree. But I ask you this, what have you done today to make yourself a better version of yourself from yesterday? Start with that. And in a year, you will be a Chad. You will be wealthy, successful, ripped, healthy, etc. Maybe not in a year. But the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you all then.